Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Small Time Creators Podcast. My name is Mo, and I'm here with the homie.
Mohammed Hashi.
Yes.
Let's go.
Hi, Hashi. How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Yeah, I'm ready for today's episode.
I'm
man.
ready
You know
as well.
what I'm
I'm ready.
saying? For this episode, we're going to be doing a review of episode 6 and 7 of The Last of Us.
No, 4 and 5 for The Last of Us.
Thank you, man. See, this is why you should be hosting.
No.
Episode
never.
4 and 5 of The Last of Us, and episode 6 and 7 of Poker Face.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and guys, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, comment. You know, hit the bell so you know when the videos are coming up. Help us out a little bit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rate us on Spotify, all of that stuff. We got audio versions of the podcast, so listen to that if you don't do video on YouTube and whatnot. But yeah we're there. So, what do you want to start with?
Let's start with Poker Face.
Poker Face, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so episode 6 was Exit Stage Death.
Yes.
What did you think?
So I think generally the show started off really well, as you already know.
Yeah.
And we already talked about last episode. I feel as though the show is kind of losing that momentum generally.
Sure.
I think the way that the kind of murders have been solved is getting a bit, not far-fetched, but a bit too easy kind of thing. Like it's just, bullshit, and then that's it kind of thing. But I thought the clever conceit of episode 6, in terms of like the whole stage show kind of conceit and all that kind of stuff, was very smart because you felt like at the start they're going to murder each other, they're trying to murder each other and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny, the misdirect,
Yeah.
But I felt like Jamila Jamil's character wasn't utilized as well as it could have been because there was a lot there in terms of, a lot could have been mined from the whole, she's a kind of very, very pretty rich person, and you thinking she's the gold digger,
Right.
but in fact he's the gold
He is the
digger.
gold digger, yeah.
And I thought that was pretty cool, and I thought that could have been explored a bit more, but it wasn't. I thought that the general murder was very, very smart, but in terms of how it was solved, it wasn't, because the bad kind of younger actress worked it out before anyone else did, which is a bit interesting.
How did she work it out again?
She found their kind of like
Their script.
lines, their script.
Their script of when they were arguing.
Yeah. And she even said like something about this was an episode of your TV show as well.
Yeah, they're so bad at it.
Yeah, it's so bad. You know what I mean? And like it's kind of funny, the whole kind of like riff on kind of very bad actors from kind of like proper soap operas from the early kind of 90s, you know what I mean, late 80s kind of, and them wanting to be great actors even though they're really bad actors.
Sure.
And them kind of just really hamming it up and just like very hacky kind of performance and stuff like that.
Sure.
It was good in that way. I thought Ellen Barkin's character was really, really good.
Yeah.
I think her general performance was very good all round. Her trying to, it's always difficult for good actors to play bad acting. Don't you think so?
To act to act like they're bad actors.
Yes.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because you can tell they're trying to do that. They're forcing it almost, in it. But I thought she did well.
Yeah. But in terms of the actual,
She did have a monologue at one point.
Yes.
That was like, and you could tell they stayed on it for a while. That was like her moment for the episode. So
Yeah.
that was really good. I enjoyed that a lot.
And then when she finally said, "I'm a ghost," and then she just falls under the stage.
Falls,
I thought that was very good. But I think generally in regards to kind of like the actual murder and the actual murder mystery and how it was solved, it was very easy because obviously, like I said before, the young girl kind of solved it, and then she basically put a bug in the room to kind of confirm her assumption because she obviously heard that they were lying.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's one of those. It's getting to a point now for Poker Face where it's just slowly slowing down a bit, and you want them to spend like a year writing these kind of thing, don't you think so? Like to really like get really smart episodes, like 1 to 3 is probably the best out of the 7 so far, don't you think?
I agree. Yeah, I thought the episodes up until the episode with the nursing home was solid, and then after that, I do agree that it has dipped a bit. But the thing is with that, I feel like it's building up to something amazing. Like when Benjamin Bratt comes back, and whoever the Adrian Brody's father is gonna be. That's what we spoke about.
Yes.
Because you got spoiled, didn't you?
Yeah, it got spoiled for me recently.
I don't want to ruin it for anyone if they haven't seen the previews or anything like that. But
Yeah.
I do feel like they're building up to something. I do get what you're saying when you're saying like Natasha Lyonne's character it's getting a bit too easy and stuff like that with the bullshit and stuff. My thing isn't more that. My thing is, are you good luck or bad luck? Because everywhere you go, there seems to be a murder.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But I think it's just one of those things where It's just a suspension of disbelief. kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, you
So
have to. You have
we
to.
have to suspend
You
that
have
disbelief.
to, yeah.
But yeah, what did you think of episode 7?
So episode 7 was the future of the sport.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you this: what
Yeah.
do you think about like these episodes? I think this is the first one where like the crime was solved, but there's really no justice
Yes.
in a way.
Yes.
Like he's kind of probably mentally going to be broken from this point forward.
Yes.
But
Through guilt. Yeah.
what do you think about having it like end like that?
I think
I
it's-
know we're jumping ahead a little bit to the
We
end
are
of the episode,
jumping
but I
ahead.
thought this part was very like I wanted to see your
I
opinion.
felt that was very interesting, and I think it's kind of good to have that because she can't continually solve every single murder
Sure,
everywhere she
sure.
goes. Like sometimes, because that nearly happened in episode 2, if you remember, where she didn't know whether or not she could solve it in time for her to basically get out of there before Cliff made it to her.
Right.
So that nearly happened there, but then
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
she found the dash cam footage. in
Yes,
episode
yes.
2. So I was thinking something like that was going to happen for this one.
Sure.
And when it didn't, I thought it was interesting. And
Yeah.
I think when you have a great actor like Tim Blake Nelson to kind of like emote that kind of like guilt and stuff like that, then it's very interesting. I thought it worked for me in that way.
And I think the way they do it with all of these murders and stuff, it like, I was really misdirected with the
Were
murder.
you?
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
Okay.
because they showed it at the start.
Yeah.
He crashed,
Mm.
right, when he tampered with his car and
Yeah,
whatnot. And you think, okay, this is the murder for the episode.
Yeah.
They're gonna try and figure it out.
Mm.
But it ends up being that your daughter was. Did anybody die in this episode? There wasn't a murder, was there?
Not really, no.
It was the crime,
It was the
basically,
crime, yeah,
isn't it?
just the
Because she was
crime.
in a coma, wasn't she?
Yes.
Then
yeah.
she woke up at the end or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that misdirect completely got me. I was
It got
like,
you.
wow, okay,
Yeah.
cool. This kid is kind of evil. Even though it was being done on him, for him to do that to like the daughter, I was like, this is super evil, man.
Yeah.
And he acted his role so well because he was charming as well.
Yeah.
And like,
And at the start, did you see how they tried to set him up as like a really nice guy? Like,
Yeah,
good
as
with
if
the
the-
community,
yeah.
good with the kids. Yeah.
Yes,
Here, do you want
yeah.
some peaches,
The
guys?
peaches?
Yeah. It's looking so silly.
I hate to pay them,
Yeah.
those race hard drivers, man.
Exactly, they
get
have to.
peaches in a trophy. and-
Otherwise, there'll be no future of the sport.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was cool. It was cool. I do agree that it has taken a dip a bit, but I haven't lost interest. I will
Yeah.
say that, and I'm super looking forward to the Benjamin Bratt stuff. They've really put that in like the back burner for now, innit? I thought it would be a thing
But
throughout
that's
the
what
series.
procedural shows usually do.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of gets to one thing I wanted to quickly, briefly talk about was procedurals versus a kind of like ongoing narrative story.
Okay.
Or like not just a week-to-week kind of, like a week-to-week narrative story which develops over time kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like a quintessential 3-act structure, like a start, like a beginning and a middle and an end kind of thing, but in TV form, like long form, to really kind of explore characterization.
You mean like Last of Us,
Yeah,
for example?
Exactly, as
Yeah,
we're going
yeah,
to talk about, compared to a procedural show. So I think with Poker Face, you have Ryan Johnson
Yep.
writing a pilot, directing, I think the first 2 episodes,
Yep.
and then giving it to the showrunners
Yeah.
and letting them cook. And I feel like it suffered for that as well, because when you have such an amazing start by an absolute master of the craft, and then you give it back to not one for one anything like worse or anything like that, but just people that are not as proficient
Yeah, I
in
see,
storytelling
yeah.
as he is.
I mean, it is his vision.
Yeah.
So no one's ever going to see it the way he sees it.
Exactly. And I think
yeah.
like in terms of like what I loved from those first couple of episodes in terms of directing,
Yeah.
some of the camera moves,
Yeah.
and the story in general, compared to how it's gone, it's you kind of do feel his hand missing
Sure.
in this kind of thing. And
Has he found his bag in Murder Mysteries?
he's
Is this his thing?
I think it could be his thing, because obviously the Knives Out is amazing, but
Yeah.
you can tell he loves this genre. You can absolutely tell how much he loves
I
it.
agree. Yeah.
You know, he loves continually going back there and stuff like that. And even his first film Brick was basically like a crime had to be solved kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
a basic neo noir kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like a Raymond Chandler kind of
Yeah.
like detective story
Yeah.
in Brick. And I just think that for me, I'll always like the ongoing kind of narrative, because
Sure.
more stuff can be done
Of
in that
course.
space compared to procedural, like a week-to-week kind of thing. But it has its place,
Yeah.
and Poker Face is a good show.
Yeah.
I just hope that the next season they take a bit more time, like really think about the
Is
murders.
there a second season?
It's already been commissioned already. It's already been
Really?
greenlit. So
That's
I
good
think the
news,
next
man.
one.
I'm happy for Natasha Lyonne.
Oh, it's
honestly.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great.
she's amazing. By
Yeah,
the way. She's amazing.
I love the way she acts, man.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
so good.
Yeah, exactly. But I think I want them to take their time to really like make a really smart show where there's loads of misdirects, and it's proper smart. Because we've had a couple where, oh, I thought it was going to go there,
Yeah.
and it's gone there,
Yeah.
kind of thing, with the episode 6 and with episode 7 as well. But yeah, I'm hoping that it really ends with a bang.
Yeah.
You know, because obviously we have the big bad coming soon and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm looking forward to it.
The ceiling for potential is definitely very, very high.
It has dropped off a bit, but hopefully,
I can definitely see it come back.
hopefully it
I
comes
can
back.
definitely, especially with
Yeah,
like
coming back.
what the main storyline is about. I can definitely see it coming back. But all right, yeah, that's The Last of Us episode 4. No, Poker Face. Episode. I'm having a mare today, bro. I'm having a nightmare.
It's okay. Man.
Episode 6 and 7 of Poker Face. Let's move on to The Last of Us. Yeah.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
The Last of Us, we spoke about the first 3 episodes last time. So now it's episode 4 and 5. So we'll go with episode 4.
Yeah.
Please hold to my hand. What do you think, man? This is our first introduction of Kathleen,
Yes.
who is the leader of the
Kansas City Revolution, basically,
Yes.
kind of collective. If you
so
wanna
they're
call it that.
basically the people that drove out
They're resistance, basically.
yeah, they drove out Fedra, right?
They drove out Fedra in Kansas City, which they call Kill City,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of cool, by the way.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what did you think of episode 4? What do you think of Kathleen's introduction mainly?
I think because of that actor, I forgot her name. I think it's something.
I know her from 2.5 Men.
Thank you. That's how I know her
That's
as
where I
well.
know her, yeah.
And I thought she was great in that.
Yeah.
As this kind of like weird, kind of
Yeah.
affable
She
stalker
was sick, yeah.
character. I think her name's Melanie Lipsky, I think, or something like that.
I'd have to check out.
Yeah. Quickly check while I quickly go into it.
Yeah.
But I think that episode episode 4 was great in terms of like introducing her as someone who wants to get information. She wants to find out who.
Melanie Linsky.
Yeah, Melanie
right,
Linsky.
yes,
Thank you. She wants to find out who basically ratted out her kind of resistance, her resistance party, and
More importantly,
like who basically got her brother killed.
killed. Yeah. She kind of had like her focus was tunnel vision.
Yes.
She just wanted this one thing, even though like in episode 4 we saw the like sinkhole kind of thing with the infected kind of almost coming out and stuff. She's just like, just put down the back burner.
Put down the back burner. Yeah.
We'll deal with that one later.
Nothing's gonna happen now. It's okay.
We're
Yeah.
good. Like, we drove him down here years ago. We'll be all right.
Actually, the Kansas City Fedra,
Yeah.
as bad as they were, because apparently they were a dictatorship in Kansas City.
Sure.
Like they were killing and raping and pillaging and stuff like that. Like they were proper hated by everyone.
But then
which makes sense.
But then you see what they did to them
Yeah.
in the next episode at the beginning of it, which sorry
is
for jumping.
crazy.
We're gonna do episode 5 properly,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you see that, so then you think to yourself, are you even better than them? Are you still? You know what I'm trying to say?
But
There is
again-
that question of like, cause bro, the way they was like they're dragging a guy with nails, like
knives, button knives inside.
it
or
was
knives. It's crazy.
savage,
It's
man.
crazy. But I think with that's probably a critique of the fact that there's dictatorships that really, really are hard to their people,
100%.
and like
yeah.
really, really like treat them and degrade them
Sure.
in ways that are unimaginable.
Yeah.
And when you finally get yours, you want to get your revenge, kind of thing. And like
Yeah.
there has to be an understanding that like in the human psyche that can sometimes happen.
Yeah, when
Right,
society,
rightly or wrongly.
Yeah, when societies and civilizations crumble, you're gonna get these kinds of things. It's
Exactly.
just it's like, is there a such thing as good and evil in those kind of worlds anymore? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
An
Is
eye for an
everyone
eye,
just-
soon the whole world will be blind.
Yeah,
You
is
know what I'm
everyone
saying?
just as bad as each other? Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was very interesting. But I
Yeah,
will
yeah.
say for me, Kathleen's character, I mean, in the beginning, I wasn't feeling her. I'll be honest.
No, the fact that she's trying to get information out of her pediatrician, the person
just-
that brought her into this world.
Yeah, and it was just like, I delivered you.
Yeah.
It was just, for me, it was just
And she was
like-
kind of you saw her kind of breaking
Yeah,
there.
yeah, for
And then
sure.
when she went outside, and then she found out what happened earlier in that
Yeah,
episode
yeah.
with Joel and Ellie
Yeah.
killing a couple of her guys.
Yeah.
In a great shootout, by the way.
Yeah.
Fantastic in terms of like her having the gun and we seeing her kind of use the gun and
That
her
scene,
kind of like
that scene was really good.
her excitement of having a gun and stuff like that.
Especially her little taxi driver moment in the
Yes.
beginning.
Yeah.
You know, it's
yeah.
like, yeah.
Her little Travis Bickle moment.
I was even thinking to myself, I don't know much about guns, right?
Yeah.
But I always know there's one in the chamber.
Yes.
After you
And I got scared. Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
But
We've
she-
been trained in that way.
She got it out,
She
and
got it
I
out.
was like,
Woo!
okay, well done.
Well done, yeah.
But the way she grew up, she's probably handled guns before.
In
Not
a way,
very
yeah.
well,
Not well, yeah.
because Joe had to teach her later on how to hold it
How
and
to
things
hold it,
like
yeah.
that. But she's probably handled the gun. And I think, I don't know if you remember, she spoke to, when her and Tess spoke, she said that she was at a mall that no one's supposed to go to
Yeah.
and things like that back in the day or whatever. And
Yeah.
she said, you were by yourself, and she paused and said, yeah, I was by myself, whatever.
Yeah.
I think she killed someone there.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna come back eventually. And
Yeah,
stuff,
of course, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I mean that scene when Joel and them got ambushed, I thought was really well done. Did you feel for my man that they were killing? That they killed?
Of course, I feel for it.
When he was screaming,
yeah,
because
I'm a human being, of course. The thing is, like, we have to understand is the fact that that's just their life.
Yeah,
that's how they've been brought up in it. And
he
like,
said, "Take my knife."
Yeah.
Sorry,
that was so sad.
Sorry.
Are you laughing at a dying man, Mo?
Because this means like I need to bargain with someone. Take this.
Take my knife.
That's funny to you, bro. But nah,
it's so sad. But
was.
I thought, which was really amazing. At the end of the episode, we kind of go back to the fact that when he basically said that, yeah, I've done that before. When Joel says, I've done that before.
Yeah.
Ambush people, and he goes,
yeah.
I've done what I had to do to survive.
Sure.
And like, he goes, have you ever done something like?
Have you ever killed innocent people?
Yeah, and he kind of like he skipped past that
Yeah,
one.
he never answered it.
Yeah, because obviously he has, unfortunately,
course,
and that's just the way life is.
Bruv.
In a global pandemic, which is more crazy than any pandemic that we went through, thankfully enough. But I think what's interesting that Kathleen, after she saw that what Joel and Ellie had done to those guys, she immediately thought, this is Henry kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
And then she went and killed her pediatrician.
Yeah, that's what you can see. She's just a bit too on that
she's still gone home.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, because she seems like a bit of a weird leader. She doesn't seem like a quintessential normal leader.
Well, I don't think she was the leader though. At
exactly,
the time.
her brother was.
She came and became like I suppose. He explained, I think, in episode 5, the soldier that was with her the whole time. Then when they were in the bedroom, you've done things.
Yes, fun fact. That's a voice actor in the game.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah, they've done that. They did that with Marlene, I think, as well.
Yes.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's pretty
I like
cool,
that.
But anyway, continue your point.
But damn it, what was my point? Yeah, so he was explaining like you've done things and helped us and stuff like that, and unlike. Not like
your brother wouldn't go that far, basically.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
He's too forgiving and too pragmatic and stuff like that.
And because of that, you can see why they would follow her no matter what.
Yes.
Especially him. Do you know what I mean? So even with all of these zombies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you get to the end of that episode.
When they're in the tower.
Yeah.
And then Henry and his brother.
Joel and Ellie finally found some shelter.
Yeah.
And then Joel is sleeping on the right side of his ear.
Yeah. And I by the way, again, I think the audience is going to get...
Ellie's very perceptive.
Oh, 100%. I think the audience is going to get sick of me like talking about setups and payoffs and kind of like quintessential storytelling and stuff like that. But I think that's really good. I love a good setup and a payoff. If I don't get that, I get upset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we got that, and it made sense for the story.
Yeah.
And this is what I love, guys.
Yeah.
So, and for that episode to end that way, fantastic. And then let's go into episode 5 quickly. Very quickly.
That was a really good ending. But yes, episode 5, endure and survive.
Yeah.
What do you think, man?
I thought this, for me, has been the best episode so far.
This one blew my mind.
Yes, it did.
Bro, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
But, you start off with, obviously, Henry and Sam week. You start off where we left off in the episode before. And Henry's kind of trying to negotiate with John, like, we're cool, right?
Yeah.
let's just be cool and stuff like that. And I do like how they... they became kind of a team and whatnot. And
But do you think it's interesting that the episode started from Henry and his brother's point of view?
I loved it.
Up until like this, where they're in hideout.
Loved it.
And you saw how they designed everything and stuff like that, and their characterization and stuff like that.
The doctor came into play.
Yes.
We saw the room that Kathleen saw before with the drawings and stuff like that. Yeah, I thought it was really well, man. And the little kid, man, Henry and Sam, they just acted that so well.
So amazing.
I just thought it was so good. I thought it was interesting that they made the child deaf.
Yes.
But for this world and trying to be quiet and things like that, it works so well. Like, you know what I mean? So,
but also life must be so hard as well, because obviously there's a gunfight and he can't hear it.
Can you imagine?
I can't imagine.
Can you imagine?
And he has to sign like what's happening.
Brother!
Like, it must be so confusing in that way.
That's so sad when you think about it.
It's so sad. But again, it adds so much kind of like conflict, and you feel even more for the character and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because of that. And like I was saying to you before, I think earlier on, like before we were recording, like it adds kind of texture to the story.
100%, yeah.
And like it adds more stakes and stuff like that. And it's so amazing.
You feel for him more even, like for some reason. And it's just, I thought that was done brilliantly.
And I thought the way Henry basically said, right, I'm going to get you out. You're going to... You know what I mean? You're the muscle, like you're the brawn. I'm the brains, kind of thing. And in terms of like that little break that they had in the tunnels when they got to that kind of classroom and they're talking, and what's so great about this TV show is the exposition. They're not kind of like they're sprinkling the exposition everywhere. Oh, when Joel's saying, I heard about these places.
Yeah.
They came out here and they made rules, stuff like that, and they went underground.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And I think, and in that scene there, when they're there, they have that scene where the two kids are playing, Ellie and Henry's brother's playing,
Yeah.
and then Joel
Sam,
and Sam, and he goes like, "You're a dad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not her dad, but you're someone's dad. You know what I mean? I can
Yeah.
see that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like that." And then he's talking about like how like like before he said, "I've never killed anyone," but
Yeah.
then he says, "No, I lied to you."
He owned up to it.
He owned up to it,
Yeah.
and like he feels so bad because
But-
obviously he's a good person, but he's doing what he has to do in this life to protect his brother.
What Joel has done
Exactly.
this whole time. I
Yeah.
think he relates. It's like my brother had leukemia.
Yeah.
There was a drug I needed. This was the only way to get it.
Yeah.
I did what I had to do.
And remember when Joel called him a rat?
Yes.
When he found out that he
Yeah.
was kind of talking to Fredler
Yeah.
to kind of get that stuff for his
Yeah.
brother, and then when he heard that, he apologized.
apologized, yeah.
And I thought it shows who Joel is
Yeah.
as like a character.
Joel's
and
not
as
a bad
person.
person. He's just
He's-
so hardened
He's just
after everything he's seen.
but
Like,
isn't it amazing? And what HBO do so well is working in the grey, not in the
Mhm.
black or the white, working in that grey area where characters have to do what they have to do to survive. And
Yeah.
people like sometimes to do good things, you have to do some bad things
Yeah.
into life and stuff like that. And I thought it was just so amazing.
yeah.
And when it gets to that major set piece towards the end,
Listen, bro, I was screaming so much. My wife had to come check on me. He's like, "Are you
Wow.
okay?"
Wow.
I was like, "I'm fine." But did you see them coming out this hole? Like, oh my goodness. Yeah,
Again, we had a great setup and we got
Crazy.
the payoff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that,
that was so good. That whole scene, and it was just, you see Joel like slowly caring so much more about Ellie
yeah.
and things like that. Like when he's up there and obviously we're skipping to the last scene now, pretty much. Well,
Yeah.
the second to last scene, but when he's up there using the sniper,
Yeah.
and you could just see the hurt in his face, like, I don't want Ellie to get hurt, kind of thing.
And
Or
also even the old man
Yeah.
goes, please,
yeah,
don't,
he goes,
you know what I mean? Don't aim the shit.
old man, you ain't fast enough.
And he still did it. And the worst thing is,
You ain't fast
and
enough.
the worst thing is when Joel checked the chamber, he hadn't cocked the sniper yet. So he was just turning it for no reason. Because
Oh, I didn't notice that
he
detail.
hadn't put the next bullet into the chamber yet.
Interesting.
It was crazy.
I hadn't noticed that detail.
Yeah.
That old man was just shooting.
Just
I don't
shooting.
know what he was
He
shooting
was
at
so
one
bad,
point.
yeah.
He was just shooting.
Joel knew.
But it was just to keep them there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
It's just kind of like, yeah,
And-
by time.
that brings me, so like I said, episode 4, I didn't like Kathleen.
Mm.
But this scene,
Yeah.
when she turned up in and she finally saw Henry,
Yeah.
I liked her there. Because she was like, I don't care. I just want you dead.
Yeah.
That's it. He's like, leave my kid. No, kids die every day,
Kids
B.
die, yeah, I don't care.
Kids die every day.
I'm a
B.
bad person.
Yeah.
I want you dead.
Listen.
I want
don't
my
care-
revenge.
I don't care. I'm selfish.
Yeah.
I'm taking you
Yeah.
out, fam. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you see the truck go into the hole.
Yeah.
And you know what's coming.
You know.
You know what's coming. And the way they did the camera to the soldiers, then they panned it back to the hole, and they all start rushing out.
Yeah.
Bro, I was like, I was like,
And
this
then when I see the big bloater come out.
big blow.
Woo!
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
Well, they should have played the music. Well, it's the big show. That would have been brilliant. But
would've
no,
been
that, I was like, what is he going to do? Like, this is crazy. And
The way
Yeah.
the way the guy told
the
her to
reveal
run.
was great.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of people saw it in the previews, apparently. I'm so glad I didn't see any previews.
Yeah,
but
same.
yeah, that reveal was really good. And I don't know how they're going to, like, that bloater was down there for 20 or however many years.
Apparently, it takes years to develop that big, so it makes sense because it's down there for so long.
He was a big
But I
boy.
thought, like you said before,
He was a big
going back
boy.
to the point you made, like when he initially like heard on the radio that they're coming, and the way you hear Joel just saying "run,"
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and then him sniping, and you could see like how scared he was for
Yeah.
Ellie, like you were saying before, and then him sniping and stuff like that, and then when he sees the blower, he's like, "Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
there's nothing I can do here."
Really
Kind of
quickly, what did you think of the little girl? She was an extortion. What do you call him?
clicker.
No, yeah, she was a clicker.
Yeah.
But the one that was in the car with Ellie that was doing all
Yeah.
of the. What do they call those people that do the contortionist?
Yes.
She's a contortionist apparently. That little girl.
Really?
And that's why she was flipping. Bro, that was so
That-
creepy.
Do you know how scary that was?
That was so creepy, bro. And then she started smacking up Kathleen.
Yeah. And by the way, Kathleen, she wanted her revenge so badly. Instead of escaping.
Yeah, she wanted that. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why she deserved to die.
Yeah. And that brings us to the heartbreaking last scene, man.
Yes, it does.
Did you know he was bit?
I had a feeling.
Did you really?
I had a feeling. Yeah.
I had no feeling until he said, "Is the monster still inside
No,
you?"
I had the feeling as soon as you hear the line from Henry, like, oh, I'll tell him tomorrow morning. And
Don't do that to me, man.
I felt like maybe Henry knew.
Don't
By
do
him
that
saying
to
that.
me. Even the way Henry acted, like, you know when Joe said to him, "Hey, I'm going to Wyoming. At this point, I'm probably gonna walk.
Yeah.
You wanna come along?" And he said yeah to him.
Yeah.
The way he said it was kind of like oh, finally someone's gonna like allow
Yeah.
me to, like, he was so relieved
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And he said, you know, it would be good for Sam to have a friend and stuff like that. And
He goes, yeah, I'll tell him in the morning. I was like, oh no. I was like, I already had my fear. And
you
then-
know Ellie trying to do the blood thing, you know it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
But just her trying, it was just so sweet.
And then her going sleep as well, even though she promised not to go sleep.
Yeah,
Like, of
she
course
stayed
it's
on
gonna
the
happen.
chair. She tried.
She tried. Yeah.
How sick was it though that even when she woke up, because he's deaf, he can't hear nothing. So he said, usually a kicker, as soon as she said, hey, he would have jumped at her. Oh,
Yeah.
there's someone here. Cool, I'm jumping at you.
Yeah.
She had to come up to him and tap him
Yeah.
for him to be like, oh, snap.
Oh,
Someone's here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And yeah, that was so they come out the room, and then I didn't know what Sam was gonna do when he took that gun.
Yeah. We
Oh,
didn't know.
Henry.
Henry.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
But so heartbreaking.
So heartbreaking, yeah.
So heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Shooting
I
his little
thought
brother.
I thought that Joel was gonna have to wrestle with him
Yeah.
and fight him for the
Yeah.
gun
Yeah.
while Elliot was just literally about to die, and then he eventually gets the gun, shoots Singh, and then they have some kind of like fight and stuff like that till the death. But then it completely played out completely different to how I
Ruined
thought.
me, man. It
I
ruined
could
me. I
not
was done
believe-
for the whole day.
And then when he did it, I was like, oh my goodness.
I was done for. You were like him. What did I do? I was done for the day, bro.
I was like,
I was done.
I had my hands on my head. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe
Yeah.
that he did that.
Did you know he was gonna do it to himself?
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
And I was even more. I already had. And I like you, bro. I screamed.
Yeah.
I screamed like
I
when
went
he killed
crazy,
himself. I
yeah.
screamed when Henry killed himself.
When he did it to himself, there's obviously that little pause from when he shoots his brother to
Yeah.
when he does it to himself. It's moving. Just before he does it, I'm like, oh, he's gonna do it to himself.
Yeah.
And then he does it.
And did you see how the camera didn't linger on Sam at all? It kind of just lingered on the blood.
on the blood? Yeah.
On the blood.
I think that's also a thing about showing kids dead on TV. I think there's something
Yeah,
about
that
that.
could be something
you're not
about it, you're
supposed to
right.
like do it or something like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, the visual of just the blood, that was powerful.
It was powerful.
Yeah,
Powerful.
it
Yeah.
was really good.
Yeah. And I think it kind of then goes into something that Joel and Henry talked about in terms of. Do you think it's really bad? Like in terms of kids. Not. It was actually the doctor and Henry saying how much did he see in terms from the whole kind of like.
And Joe said it's easier for kids or something.
No. Henry said to the doctor.
Oh, right.
Henry said to the doctor.
Right.
I don't know. He
Yeah.
goes, I don't know. And then the doctor said it's easy for kids. They don't
Yeah.
understand stuff like that. And you see that on Ellie. She does understand because she feels so bad
So that's
and
what I
so
was gonna
guilty.
say, yeah.
And you saw her write on his little kind of pad.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, kind of
Yeah.
thing. Even though she didn't kill him,
Yeah.
but she
She
feels
couldn't help as
responsible.
well. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I was just trying to see. It's going to be interesting to see how
How-
Ellie's
yeah.
character develops from here, and how Joel's going to have to comfort her.
And Joel's gonna have to use some kind of like father techniques. He's gonna have to kind of like
100%.
dust it off from when he was a father. Kind
And
of
it's gonna help both of them to for him to get over the grief of losing his daughter too,
Yeah.
and for her to be, get over this trauma that she's
Yeah.
gone through, all the traumas that she's gone through actually.
Goodness
But
me.
what a show, man!
An amazing show, and
What a show!
unfortunately, we only have 4 episodes left.
Oh, upset
Just
me, man.
crazy.
Guys, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like it if you do. And, rate the audio as well if you listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google.
Please do, please.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we're coming up next. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Peace.